even though it's zoned for public use, we do have the right to ask you not to do those things and tell you to leave it. You would not like to comply.
Are you filming a patron?
You gotta just appreciate the fact that I'm also 50 years old and I just don't take blind directives from people. You know, I've been alive too long, but if there's a legitimate thing going on, then I want to respect that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's something that we request from anybody who's taking pictures or filming.
Gosh, we've been doing it for so long now. I've never had anybody question it. I don't even, yeah.
Well,
What's going on, everybody? Watching the Watchman here, out with Amagansett Press, here at the Salt Lake City Public Library in Salt Lake City, Utah. We're gonna come take a walk around and check it out and see if the folks here respect our First Amendment right to take video in a public building. Some very cool glass elevators here.
how are you? Thank you. My name's Jason. This is my son Ben.
Hi.
And this is actually the first time I've been in a library where they have businesses set up like this. So are these businesses owned by the municipality or are they actually privately owned?
They're privately. This is a non-profit.
Non-profit. Okay, so is that a requirement of having this?
No, not necessarily, because the others, I think, are owned and make profits.
Gotcha.
This is about 12 years. We've been here about 12 years. We're a non-profit. Local artists, it's a cooperative gallery.
That's very cool.
We all the artists work here.
Okay. And where does the profits go to help?
The profits go to pay for rent,
Okay.
keep us going, and then we have contracts with the library to do certain things with the community.
Oh, gotcha. That's awesome. That's excellent work.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, thank you for that. We appreciate that. Yeah, that's very cool. Are you the owner?
No, I'm just one of the artists.
Oh, you're one of the artists. Very cool. Have
Thank
a wonderful day.
Bye.
All right, so these are private businesses. They just kick back to the library, pay some rent, and perform a service to the community.
So there's an auditorium over this way.
Interesting artwork and things such as that.
I think a drip just dripped on me from up there. Some kind of a leak.
Do you guys by chance have media passes?
I'm sorry?
Media passes?
Media passes.
It's free. It's just if you go to our welcome desk, once you walk in the scanner that's right in front of you, just tell them what you're doing and they'll just give you a sticker that says you're allowed to be here. It's
For media, though. Because I'm not media.
to anybody who's taking pictures or recording in here actually has to get one. We have people doing private photo shoots in here. It's just because if you get a picture of someone who's here who did not consent, it's the building saying you have a right to do that in here. And it's technically like half and half public and private property.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? So you're saying that it's interesting. You're saying that I would need somebody's consent in order to photograph them here?
Not necessarily, but you do need the buildings to consent to photograph in here.
Buildings consent to photo. That's interesting. Being that it's a public library, it's just interesting because I go to a lot of public buildings.
No, you're more than welcome to. It's just we just request that you get a little sticker from our desk.
And where is this?
What do you?
I mean, I'm not saying I'm absolutely going to do that, but I'll go look into it and figure out what the situation is.
All you do is say hi, we're taking pictures, and they give you a
Right,
sticker.
no, I'll go explore what it is and look into it and just direct me in the right direction, for sure. Okay.
You walk straight to the desk in the middle of the room, and it's right there.
Okay.
I I am security, so if you don't yourself, they're actually a photographer filming here.
That's interesting. Okay, so just for argument's sake, what if I go over there and look at that and say I'm not interested in doing that? Then what would your next move be?
Not filming, photographing.
And then what if I just kept going?
Well, then I would talk to my desk and leave, and I really don't want to do that. I'm trying really, really hard to be like.
Is there a is this like a policy that's?
Yes.
Really? Do you have a copy of the policy by chance?
I would love to show you. Yeah.
Great, okay. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, I'm just trying to educate myself and figure out what's going on. That's literally the first time I've ever heard that in the library. And I've been in many of them.
Professional and
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, what he wants to cancel is the Audits has he wants black and blue temporary.
it's definitely suspended.
We can delete it.
Oh, okay. I think I canceled it.
Okay, yeah, you have to do two things. You have to cancel it and then delete it, otherwise it's
And then you have
You were
the last
suspended for
one.
drinking more than a month ago.
See, now it says canceled, so then I'm just gonna go through and delete it. Just so it's-
He wants to keep terminal.
Can I take a look at that? That's the rules of conduct here?
Before you ever need to get past this.
Yeah.
I don't see the policy right now. What is the?
So it is, just,
I looked and I didn't see it.
did you look on here before?
I did. I might have just skipped over it.
Yeah.
It would be the first time I ever heard of anybody needing a media pass for a library.
Yeah, we just like it to have displayed, just so that our patrons don't feel like people are just arbitrarily taking pictures of them, that they've gone through a process. It's just something that's
Sort of quell people's fears?
Mostly, yeah. Basically, we
sounds
just.
like it. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
It's basically just you put
I mean,
that
I'm sure
sticker on
somebody's
you
got other
somewhere.
opinions about
Right.
it, but that's
Well,
my
I'll tell you what, I mean, if it's a policy if it's an official in writing policy of the library, I told you I'd be happy to take a look at it and entertain that, but if it's not, I really don't want to walk around with a sticker on me.
So another
That
thing
could
is,
cause its own problems.
another thing is, it also helps me as a security officer because if somebody who is mentally ill or I will in a moment. Someone who is, we have a lot of patrons here who are experiencing homelessness, who
Right.
have schizophrenia, mental health issues, psychosis, situations like that. It generally puts them at ease, and it makes it so that we are less likely to get an altercation or have an incident on our records. Because if someone sees someone who looks like they might be filming them, they tend to get very.
Well, that's
erratic.
interesting, and it could also work in numerous ways. I mean, somebody might have a problem with the staff here, see me walking around with a sticker on my chest and take it out on me, thinking that I work here, not understanding what the pass is for. Yeah.
Trying to do my job.
Oh no, I understand you, and that's why I'm just talking it out with you. That's all. You gotta just appreciate the fact that I'm also 50 years old, and I just don't take blind directives from people. You know, I've been alive too long. But if there's a legitimate thing going on, then I want to respect that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's something that we request from anybody who's taking pictures or filming
Gosh,
here.
we've been doing it for so long now. I've never had anybody question it. I don't even. Yeah.
Well,
we just do it.
I'll tell. You know what? On this note, since we're having this conversation, I'll tell you exactly what we're doing. Okay, we go around the country. This is my son. My name's JC. Okay, my son's name is Ben. And what we do is we are supporters of the Constitution of the United States of America. So what we do is we go out and exercise our rights to take photographs and video in publicly accessible areas of government facilities. So that could be a library, a jail, a police department, a sheriff's office, a state capitol building. We go all over the place, and that's all we're doing is exercising our rights to take photographs. We don't cause any disturbances. We don't speak to anybody. We generally don't even speak to each other. You know, we just kind of walk around and film. And this building particularly is spectacular. I mean, the architecture of this building is incredible.
Are you filming patrons?
We are not.
That is definitely friendly.
Well, you know what? No, it's not really, because what happens is, like, I'm not specifically aiming my camera to patron, but if I'm looking at the architecture and somebody happens to walk by,
Sure.
I'm not filming the patron.
You're not specifically going out to
No,
film
no
people
interest.
in a public spot. Okay.
Well, if somebody happens to be in that, but you know what the example I use with that is? If you go to Disney World and you want to take a picture of your kids, do you have to get consent from everybody that's standing behind them? There's 4,000 people standing there.
Right.
And that's a private place, right? So if you're in public, it's even more. So, and it's not just speaking to photography and video, what we do. The Constitution is taking a beating these days, and our rights are being eroded faster than we can keep up with them. So that's what we're trying to do, is we're just not exercising our rights, because rights are like muscles, and if you don't exercise them, you lose them.
Okay.
Right? So that's all it is. It's a simple exercise of rights.
Absolutely.
It doesn't even rise to the level of civil disobedience, because we're not being disobedient.
Taking pictures in a public space.
Perfectly legal. And not only is it legal, it's also constitutionally protected activity.
Yeah, but everybody can do that.
Sure, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Phones and yeah.
Because it's your right. You have a right to take photos. You are the press.
Right.
You don't have to be Channel 7 to be the press. Anybody that picks up a camera, anybody that disseminates information to the public is the press. And as far as I'm concerned these days, each one of us individually are a much more reliable press than the major media, because they have a corporate agenda. We don't.
Right.
We're just out experiencing real life and talking to real people and showing what's really going on in the world, and also documenting the climate of this. Before we leave, I will give you that information so that you can take a look at what we do.
Yeah.
And we do is we, you know, some people go out and they feel like civil disobedience is the way to do things, which sometimes is required, and you do need to do those things. But we tend to try to be a little more cordial.
Yeah.
And we try, I mean, you can see how I'm being with you, and that's how we are. And we're not looking for
Thrilled
any.
about civil disobedience for security. Right.
Well, no, when I say civil disobedience, I'm talking about like Rosa Parks sitting in the front seat of the bus. That's civil disobedience.
Okay.
Yes.
I really do need you to keep your voice down. This is a library.
To keep my voice down?
You're projecting.
I'm projecting. Okay. Okay. So then you have to stop listening to your little thing and pay attention.
Excuse me?
You don't like anybody having an opinion or something to say?
You're more than welcome to talk as long as you want.
Okay.
Because it is a
But just
library.
let's not get passive aggressive about things. Let's just, I'm being extremely friendly.
So am
right?
I.
Okay, well, let's keep it that way. We'll keep it cordial.
I know, I just said I need you to keep it at this level.
That's fine. I don't look at anybody's disturbed, but I'll keep it down. I understand the library thing.
just
You know
that-
what's funny? When I was a kid, and this young lady here probably remembers as well, libraries didn't have quiet places because the entire library was a quiet place.
Yeah.
Now there are quiet places, so I didn't realize we were in one of those, so I apologize.
Actually, the whole library still is a quiet place.
Is
It's
it?
just that we have to be a little more careful because unlike most libraries that are wood and carpet, this one is stone and glass, so it echoes upwards. Every sound that you make on this level is actually louder on level 4 than it is here because of the architecture.
Okay.
So it just echoes and reverberates upwards, so the higher up you go, the louder it
I can hear other people talking.
gets. Like I said.
That's what it is, yeah. No, I don't want to give you a hard time. So this is what we do. I've explained, and I generally, I'll tell you what, you guys, I must like you guys because I don't generally explain myself that much to people when I first walk in.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Do we have to start all over again? We were at the end of a conversation.
It's been a very long conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did we reach a conclusion?
My name is Jason Courtney.
Hi.
Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you.
This is my son, Ben.
Ben, nice to meet
Hi,
you.
Ben. How are you?
Good.
Did we reach a conclusion? Okay.
Oh, I was going to say we did, so I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
So we'll let Micah, I'm sorry, am I pronouncing it proper?
Micah, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I asked him to put a media pass on, and as it's not directly in our policy sheet, it seems to be.
Okay. Well, let me see what I can do.
Otherwise, you'll need to
So they're they are walking around just filming public spaces, exercising
I see.
their rights to film in public spaces. Okay. So I asked that they wear for the sake of some of our
Legality, yeah.
legality.
Well, it's not legality, it's policy.
1 second here.
I missed it.
I can't remember if it's in here or in the super extended one.
This is just our very easily accessible
This
patron
is
one.
this is my like easy to read pair. Oh, well. I need a copy. There isn't?
No. Micah looked as well. He said it's
Okay,
Zelda.
good.
So basically, you know what? I probably would have been halfway through what I was doing and almost out of here by now. So what we do is just I'll go through the whole thing with you again.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be super extensive.
No, I'll give you the watered
Quick
down
notes?
version. Yeah. So what we do is we don't interact with anyone. I'm not looking to photograph what people are doing or anybody in particular. So this is a gorgeous building.
It is.
It's paid for by tax dollars.
Absolutely.
It's a public space.
It's architecturally gorgeous.
Yeah,
it is technically zoned private property.
Okay,
Just
I'm gonna go
so
put
you
these
know.
back. You brought my drink.
Zoned private property.
Yes, it is owned like not by the city. We allow the public to use
So who
it.
owns the library?
It's run by a board of directors. I'd have to ask them.
Oh, so it's a nonprofit.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
So it's technically called a public library, but only in that we allow the public to use the facility.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Micah was expressing, and I'm not giving an opinion either way or making
No,
any
you're
good,
fine.
but Micah was letting me know that there were a lot of, and I understand, there were a lot of homeless around, for people with mental issues and that kind of thing and all that stuff going on. I'm using her words. And those people, as long as they're behaving themselves, are allowed in the library.
Yeah, as long as they follow our policies, everybody is.
So the board of directors allows them to be here, but has an issue with people taking photographs?
Correct.
That's a little,
And it's really just to you forgive me, I haven't had enough
oh, I
coffee
forgive
this
you, no
morning.
problem. Neither of us.
Have we ever, honestly? What it's more to protect is patron privacy.
Okay.
It's just that basically the same thing as somebody like filming you out on the street. It makes a lot of people uncomfortable, and we just try to make our patrons as happy.
Well, filming somebody out on the street, there's nothing anybody can do.
Exactly.
Which is,
It can make them uncomfortable,
Which
but legally you're perfectly allowed to do
right, so apart from policy and rules and regulations, as far as the law is concerned, there is no issue.
Right.
So the only issue that could possibly exist is a policy.
Exactly. But being that it is a privately owned facility,
Okay. It's paid for by tax dollars.
absolutely, even though it's zoned for public use.
Yeah,
It is technically zoned private property, even though it's zoned for public use. You do have the right to ask you not to do those things and tell you to leave if you would not like to comply.
Not to, what, take, well, nobody asked me not to take video. She just wanted me to put a sticker on my chest. And what I said was, here's, Micah's reasoning is that if I have a sticker on my chest and somebody sees that, it might make them feel a little bit more easy about what we're doing because I'm identified as somebody that's gone through a process here.
Yeah,
But at the same,
One of the reasons I said
right. But, and I also see the flip side of that, which could be if somebody's here who has some kind of a mental issue, has some kind of an issue with the staff,
And
or the
sees
security
you
sees that,
as
they might
somebody
take it out on me and think that that was, you know what I
And I
mean? So I'm
completely
labeling
understand
myself,
you.
and I generally don't
Yes.
label myself either.
Right, and no, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
It does. What this really is stating that we ask that you don't film our staff without our permission. You know, we ask that you don't sell this footage without us knowing about it, so it doesn't just show up in random places. We make wedding photographers do the same thing. You know, take pictures of your
Well,
subject
that's commercial
and not
photography. That's a different thing.
exactly.
I don't sell my
What
video
is
to
this
anybody.
for?
We live in the Denver area.
Okay.
And
Oh,
what we
nice.
do is,
I like Denver.
yeah, it's nice. And once a month we take a road trip. So like last month we went to Cheyenne. We make sure we go to the state capitol and go to some municipal buildings and libraries, and we go visit the police and the sheriffs and just
That's awesome.
get a feel for the community and speak to the folks in the town. So
Really?
this month we're in Utah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we're making memories with the boy, and I'm also supporting our rights as Americans and supporting our Constitution, and that's all we
By
do.
all means.
Yeah.
Do it.
So I cannot imagine that the board of directors would have any problem with that.
I don't think they would.
No.
We just have this thing that we have to have it signed because they
Well,
say
but
they
if-
don't want you following.
The only thing is that's why I had said to Mike when she mentioned it, I said, let's go take a look at the rules. If that's on the rules, then we'll address that. But there's nothing on here saying this is your,
Right. That's my
So-
quick notes version of it.
right, so you got to figure it like any, not you, and I'm not saying anybody would do
No,
it,
I know.
but any member
I'm
of the
not high
staff
enough
could
to
walk
pay
up
for
to me
that.
and just say, oh, well, here's a rule. I don't like that you're wearing blue shoes, so there's a rule you can't wear blue shoes.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no.
I tend to go with what's in writing and what's documented,
Which
what's
is
approved.
very intelligent. 'Cause, I mean, obviously you've done this before, and I don't want to waste your time.
Many, many times, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't want
This lovely gentleman is Patrick.
Don't tell me we're going to start all
No,
over again.
we're not starting all over again, I promise.
Just if I can offer you some more resources.
He is paid more than I am.
He's probably paid more than I am.
So I work in the event services department,
Okay.
and we actually normally do the photography and filming
For events.
passes and so forth. For a
For
variety of
everybody.
activities.
Okay.
So I thought it might be helpful if you were interested. I can take down your contact information or provide contact information for either my supervisor, Elizabeth King, if you need additional information, or the head of communications because they actually handle all of this.
Gotcha.
Tim Smith and potentially.
Right, no, we're just...
Or
all
did you
we're-
get the info that you needed? Or?
Yeah, no, and all we're looking to do is, and I was just explaining our side of the situation, but all we're looking to do is check out the building. First of all, the architecture just pulls you in off the street.
Right.
It's a gorgeous building.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, and you know, these are our memories, and this is what we're doing. We just this is my son.
I think it's awesome.
Nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
Guess what
Nice
I
to meet
found?
you.
What'd you find?
The policy. I know it looks weird, but it was just printed.
What? Yeah. Well, who just printed this up?
My boss did.
Any person filming
Yes.
or taking photographs must wear a filming and photography pass issued by communications.
Yeah, and that's what this is.
What is it now? This.
Well, he just printed it off my website.
Okay.
Let me.
Because I was just,
Right, 'cause that's
maybe
the quick
Patrick
mouse version.
pointed out to us, I don't see anything on here. And this is your page, right? This is what you hand out
That's the
to
quick mouse.
So this is slightly different. This is just general behavior within the library, usually in regards to things
Let's see
like
if I can pull up the website.
interactions with other patrons, volume, personal belongings, stuff like that. We do have separate guidelines for video photography.
But now, wouldn't that be for commercial? Because it's not, I'm not, so this doesn't get sold. I'm not selling my video to anybody. I'm not doing this for
So,
art.
So generally how we look at it, it falls into one of three categories. There's the commercial category, there is student use, and then there's community use. So it sounds like it's probably community use that you're doing. You said you're coming in here, you're using this for your personal enjoyment.
Right,
You're not-
exactly.
You're not promoting any products or services related to
No
film
products or
photography that you
services,
provide,
no, absolutely not.
And you're not working with any clients or anything?
Not working with any clients, no. Not in the photography business.
Okay, so that would fall within our community use. And the reason we do ask that you have the photo pass is just so that staff know, they see somebody walking around with a camera, they know that they've talked with event services, and we're like, yeah, it's community use, they're cool, they don't need to be paying any fees, you don't need to do litigation, you don't need to send an invoice. So it's basically a way to indicate to staff that, yeah, they've checked in with us, everybody knows what
And I'm
the
just going to be very
guidelines are.
honest with you, and I'm not saying that you're being dishonest, but it seems to me like that would be more of just a way of getting my information so that if something arises down the road, you have a way to get back to me. That's what it more seems like to me, just being honest with you.
Okay,
Which, you know, also...
Pull up the whole rest of the thing.
No,
right
that's
now.
okay. And you know what the other thing is, too, with these passes, of course, is because we ask different people's names, and let's see,
yeah, we
date
don't
and time,
ask
so...
for
yes,
contact information or anything. We'd only do that if we had to do a
I
location.
mean, I could write down any name I wanted. I mean, how would you know
Right.
it was me?
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like a...
Again, it's kind of so like
exercise in futility, I think. Unless it would make sense to me if you say to me, well, we need to know who you are, so that way if there's an issue, we can go back and find. Then I'd say, okay, well, that makes sense, but you tell me that's not the case.
well, so for example, like I mentioned, it's kind of a way to communicate with our staff. So for example, like if I issued it, it would have my name, the date and time. So they would basically say, oh, they talked with Patrick. Patrick said it's fine, it's community use. I don't have to worry that they didn't check. Because sometimes people will just show up and they are in commercial use and they've never talked with us.
Okay.
We do have guidelines, so we have to make sure that they're serving as far as like some of our tenants and their privacy as far as
Yeah, just had a very nice conversation with Mary
copyright and
Pusey.
stuff
She's
like that.
a wonderful artist and a wonderful lady there.
Okay.
Nice to talk
Good.
with her. Yeah.
Yeah, so really again, it mostly indicates like again, like you checked in with us, we said it's fine, here's a pass for you, date, time, my name, and then just here we go. And yes, you can.
My issue with that is what that does is that opens me up to, because in this country you have a constitutional right to be secure in your papers and your effects, right? So basically that's a Fourth Amendment issue, is what it comes down to, right? So that's why, and I'm sure a lot of people that come in, like if we never had this conversation, I could just write Joe Smith on there and you'd say, okay, great, here you go, Joe Smith, put your pass on. And then, so what does that really accomplish other than maybe quelling people's fears. And maybe that's not the best way to go about it, because maybe that exacerbates their fears, and maybe a better way to do it would be for me to explain to them what I'm doing, and that if somebody asks me, I don't approach anybody.
Right.
And I was even telling the guard that we actually generally don't even speak to each other, because we like to try to keep the videos quiet and let them speak for themselves. So that's all we do. That's all we do. But personally, just because of what I do and how I do it in my moral fiber and my makeup, putting a label on me and putting my name out there and exposing my personal information is not something I would ask anybody else to do for me. So I generally don't agree to those things. So the next question would be, if I don't want to wear the pass, then what happens?
Again, the pass is primarily for staff to know.
Okay.
It's a communication thing. So what I would say in this situation is it's community use. We don't need any additional information. We don't need to do again location agreements or invoicing or any of that. So I would say we're familiar with it. Security is familiar with it. The staff here at the main desk are familiar with it. I would say you are welcome to film in the library. We do have, and this is the behavior guidelines. We do have some
Yeah,
more
those are,
Yeah, and I'll keep that as a souvenir.
photography-related ones, but they're pretty
That's what
simple.
I'm printing out for you right now, just so you have it, just
Okay.
in case any questions come
Okay.
up later.
Yeah, no, we don't, and just so you know too, we understand the difference between public areas and restricted areas. We make a very concerted effort not to go into any restricted areas. We have no interest in doing that.
We appreciate
We will not, I have no interest in speaking to the patrons unless somebody approaches me, so not looking to do that.
So it sounds like Courtney's printing them out. I can tell you kind of in general, it's,
This is really simple.
this is kind of a commercial thing, I guess, more, because we do encourage you not to capture other people's images. Community use that.
That's difficult, because let's say I want to take, let's say right now I want to capture these two acrylic pieces that are hanging.
Yeah.
Do I ask everybody to move? Do I yell out? Is everybody okay with me? You know what I
Don't
mean?
yell because it's a library.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, and my analogy that I always use for that is if you take your children to Disney World and you want to take a picture of your children, you're going to go asking 4,000 people for their permission to take the picture.
Like I referenced just briefly, that it's a little more relevant to the community use, because if you are capturing somebody's image and then you are using it for commercial issues, then that is a more
Well, then that would,
Yeah.
If I was using it for commercial, I agree with you. But I would be forthright with you and tell you I was using it for commercial. If that's what I was doing.
Yeah. So otherwise, we just kind of encourage it as a way to also be for other patrons comfort and privacy as well. So if you want to capture it, you're more than welcome to. If you have an opportunity to capture it when other people are not.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Like, if I want to, let's say, I mean, this is a beautiful atrium here when you first walk in. So if I want to capture images of the atrium, that's what I'm focusing on. If somebody happens to walk by, I'm not aiming my camera at anybody. I'm not interested in what they're doing. I'm not looking at anybody, what they're writing, or what any of that stuff. Just not to say that I couldn't either, but I respect people that way, and I wouldn't even go there. Even if your rule was not in place, I wouldn't do that.
And we appreciate it.
Yeah, that's all. So we plan on behaving ourselves.
Okay. Yeah, and the other stuff is related to, like, please don't climb on the furniture, please don't run. Please
Well, a
don't
few
make
years
lot
ago,
of
I might have had a
noise.
problem with him climbing on the furniture, but I think he's past that.
Yeah, no parkour in the library.
And like I said, we really generally don't even speak to each other, and if we do, we're kind of, because I don't really like a lot of talking in the videos.
Yeah,
So I
no,
kind
that
of
makes sense.
killed
It kind
this
of ruins
one.
the aesthetic.
Yeah, and we just kind of, I'm just
Cut
trying
it out and use like pretty.
Well, it's not hard to find something pretty in this building, I'll tell you that.
Thank you for taking the time.
No, I
to
appreciate
talk
you
with
having the
us.
conversation with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I said, we're aware of the situation.
Okay.
More than welcome. Please enjoy the space, enjoy your time.
No, thank you very much. And also, I'm not anticipating having any issues with anyone, but I do have very good de-escalation skills from
Which is-
previous experience in life. I think you guys can sense that. So
I
I'm a
appreciate
very good
that.
communicator, and I will do everything within my abilities to avoid any issues or any situations.
And if you have any, call me.
we will.
Are you comfortable with that? Do you want any additional information, maybe from like my supervisor or the?
No, I think you've given us all the information we need. I think you've been very professional, very cordial, and I appreciate that. All right. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you as well. I do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Courtney,
this is
thank you.
taking forever, but
No worries.
if you still want it, I can have it done for you in just a minute.
What's that?
The
Oh no, it's okay. Because
Okay.
I can look it up online, and I have your
Okay.
little quick notes
it's
sheet
super
here.
easy to find. It's just under policy matters.
Alrighty.
So if you Google it, it'll pop right up.
You got it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to button my lip, and we'll stay silent from here on in. Thank you, Courtney.
Have a great day.
Appreciate you.
You want to go up the stairs or the glass elevator?
Let's go up the stairs. And then we'll come down the elevator.
All right, cool.
That will work. Thank you, Michael. Not putting any pass on me, lady. This is beautiful. This is definitely the nicest library I've ever seen. No question about it. If you're into architecture, Salt Lake City is the place for you. It's a nice shot of the sun. Very cool. So the rooftop is closed, otherwise we'd go in there and give you a view of that. Alright. This is the administrative offices up there? Okay, can I ask what your name is? Zoo. I'm sorry, Zoo. Jason, nice to meet you. Pleasure. Alright, cool. So I guess public access out here, private back there? Yeah, exactly. Alright, gotcha, man. Thank you, appreciate you. We made the rounds pretty quickly.
Already?
Yeah, well, we went up to the top. I don't want to go through each one of the halls.
Sorry. That was so fast.
It's too big of a building. So we kind of just got a sense of it.
Kind of enormous, isn't it?
But I just want to thank you for your professionalism.
You're so
and
welcome.
helping us out.
I hope you guys have a great time and
Thank you.
have fun touring.
Thanks.
So
Yeah.
hopefully you find some other cool places.
Oh, we will. We always seem to
Although
run
hopefully
into-
not as pretty as ours.
Well, it's going to be hard to beat. You know what? Just Salt Lake City in general. I mean, the architecture is
It
incredible.
is, and it actually kind of looks oddly good in the rain. Why?
I just said it to somebody this morning too. I like weather. I like snow and rain and all that
Yeah.
kind of lightning. And
Plus, you know, it speaks to our state. That's our snow.
that's it. Yeah.
So, of course,
It's amazing.
coming from Denver, you know that.
Well, no, you know what? I'll tell you the truth. It's funny you think that when when we were moving to Denver from New York. That's what you think. It's going to be a lot of snow
more
and
snow.
cold. 300 days of sunshine.
Seriously?
Yeah, I mean, I was walking last week. I was walking around with a t-shirt on. It was 55, 60 degrees.
Well, that's annoying.
Yeah.
I kind of feel gypped.
Yeah.
Where's my seasons?
Well, you can always go up into the mountains.
That's true.
Yeah, you get the best of both worlds.
That's true.
Well,
And then the
alrighty.
desert right below it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Sweet.
Well, keep having fun. Keep smiling.
Thank you. Have a
Alrighty.
great
Take
day,
care.
you guys,
too.
okay?
You too.
Stay safe.
Bye.
All right, guys. You saw how that went here at the Salt Lake City Public Library. Overall, went pretty well. They did want us to have media badges or passes or whatever, but they agreed that we could take video without those, so it wasn't an issue. And that's about it for this one. If you like this video and what we do, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel and Amagansett Press's channel on YouTube. Make sure you follow my Instagram and Twitter, which will be on the screen, at Watching the Watchman on Instagram, at Watchman1A on Twitter. Watching the Watchman, Amagansett Press, out. See you on the next one, guys.
He has a great thing going on.